At 12:18 in the morning, a folder appeared among Mara Vale's unfinished apartment photographs. It called itself the Midnight Upload and contained one image, a red enamel key tag resting on gray fabric. Mara had lost that tag 8 months earlier. She enlarged the image. The amber table lamp dimmed and metal clicked against porcelain. Her key tag now lay on the chipped saucer beside the laptop. The teaspoon that had been there was gone. Inside the photograph, resting on the gray surface, was the spoon. Mara did not touch the tag. She photographed the table with her phone, then reduced the strange image to a thumbnail. Nothing changed. When she opened the spoon photograph full screen, the lamp dipped again. The teaspoon returned to the saucer, exactly across the tag's position, and the red tag vanished. Its photograph had returned to the folder. Mara whispered, "It trades." She kept the image small after that. Small images only watched. More thumbnails arrived without a sound. They showed Mara's missing silver earring, an exhausted camera battery, and an old transit card, each centered against the same gray background. She risked the earring. It appeared beneath the radiator where she remembered dropping it. A brass coin that had occupied the spot disappeared. The coin immediately became the subject of a new image. Distance did not matter, only position did. She made a controlled test. Mara set an orange on the saucer and opened the key tag image. The fruit vanished. The red tag landed in its place, leaving a damp crescent on the wood. In the updated photograph, the orange sat on gray fibers with one green leaf bent beneath it. Mara restored the orange and sacrificed the tag again. The wet crescent remained. The exchange moved objects, but it did not clean up after them. Mara stopped opening files and studied the harmless thumbnails. The gray backdrop was not fabric. A pulled thread near the orange matched the snag in her living room rug. At the edge of the earring image stood the base of her amber lamp, except its cord ran in the opposite direction. A dim outline occupied the place where her sofa should have been. The photographs had been taken in her room, but not this version of it. One thumbnail widened by itself. It revealed a windowless copy of the apartment, drained of color and furnished with blurred equivalents of Mara's belongings. A person in an amber raincoat crossed the far edge of the frame. Their face remained outside the crop. They bent, placed Mara's brass coin at the radiator, and withdrew. Seconds later, a new coin image appeared. This was not an archive. Someone in the other room was preparing trades. Mara shut the laptop and pulled its charger. The room stayed solid. She moved the chair, lamp, and saucer away from their original positions, breaking the map between apartments. When she reopened the computer, nothing exchanged because no image filled the display. The thumbnails had changed anyway. In each one, the amber-coated person stood closer to the duplicate work table, holding objects at coordinates Mara had just abandoned. She placed a heavy ceramic planter where the chair had been. In the duplicate room, the stranger responded by setting a dead camera battery at that same point. Mara understood the negotiation. The figure could not exchange anything without a full-screen image, but it could offer exactly what she might choose to retrieve. Her missing belongings were bait, selected from a place that knew her rooms, her habits, and the small losses she still remembered. To learn whether the planter could block a trade, Mara opened the battery image from across the room. She had misjudged its position. Her phone, lying nearer the matching coordinate, disappeared instead. The dead battery struck the floor. A new thumbnail showed her phone in the duplicate apartment, screen glowing in the stranger's gloved hand. Mara needed it to call anyone. The figure had learned which object she would always ask to have back, Mara placed a television remote at the phone's former position and enlarged the phone image. The exchange worked. Her phone returned, vibrating against the rug, and the remote vanished. But before she could dial, every thumbnail went dark except one. It showed a second silver laptop sitting at the duplicate work table. Its lid was open. The screen faced away, and the amber-coated figure was no longer visible anywhere in the frame. Mara believed exchanging the computers might sever the connection. She examined the thumbnail without enlarging it. The other laptop was older, with a cracked hinge and 3 nested right angles scratched into the metal. Mara had seen that mark once already, cut into the corner of the red key tag. The tag she had assumed was hers. She reached for the trackpad, then stopped. From the phone on the rug came the sound of a teaspoon touching porcelain. She enlarged the laptop image. Her computer vanished from beneath her hand. The older machine arrived with a heavy crack, already open and already awake. Its display was filled edge to edge by a live photograph of Mara kneeling on the rug. She had no time to close it. The lamp bent into a dirty streak. Pressure sealed her ears. For one frame, the apartment existed twice around her, one with rain at the window, one with no window at all. Mara landed on the same rug beneath colder light. The room had her apartment's proportions, but no windows, no hallway exit, and no finished ceiling. Her missing remote lay beside the red key tag. Beyond it were hundreds of ordinary things: earrings, chargers, cups, shoes, keys, not collected in piles, but carefully positioned across overlapping outlines of other homes. This room was not a copy. It was a staging floor shared by every exchange. On her original laptop, Mara could see her real apartment. The amber-coated person now stood beside the rainy window, free of the staging room. They restored the chair and lamp to their usual positions with practiced care. Then they placed Mara's teaspoon on the chipped saucer. Their gloved hand held the red key tag up to the camera before setting it beside a laptop in a home Mara had never seen. The first exchange had not been an accident. It was a demonstration. A fresh thumbnail opened on Mara's laptop, still small enough to be harmless. It showed an unknown person working late at a kitchen table, their face turned away. A chipped saucer waited beside their computer. Mara looked down at the red tag in her own hand and found 3 nested angles scratched beneath its enamel. The thumbnail refreshed. In the stranger's room, her red key tag was already sitting beside someone else's teaspoon.